right. With that, we've got email marketing. We're owning the data from our customers. And this is important now more than ever because the cookie issue, the cookie apocalypse of the last few months, which has caused increase in advertising costs. A lot of merchants have complained or dumped their media agency. They found that their ads were no longer profitable. Some stuff hit the fan, right, recently. So we're going to talk with Darren from Quickly about how to get that data back, how to kind of get that ROI back that we lost a few months ago. Darren, how's it going?
I'm well, and yourself?
Doing great. We're in the middle of day two. We haven't had too many technical issues, so I'm very
Perfect.
happy. We've had some great sessions talking all the way across the board. Email. We talked a lot about product detail pages and product images. Sustainability, super important for
Love
everybody
it.
to take seriously. And so I'm really looking forward to your session as well. I'm going to add your screen here, and I'm
Awesome.
going to let you take it away.
Cool. Yeah, no, excited to be here. Thanks, Derek. As Derek mentioned, I'm Darren Lemus. I'm the Director of Accounts over at Quickly. And today we're going to be talking about advertising in a post-cookie world, how you can still target and acquire new customers. So I'm sure many of us have experienced it and heard about many of the privacy updates, the changes to the e-commerce landscape. And because of these things, it's really started to create a need for brands to further diversify their marketing channels. Some of the challenges that we've come across as marketers and our brands and all the brands that we speak with have come across, I mean, there's a bunch more, but some of the three main ones have been first and foremost, advertising costs are continuing to rise and it's not slowing down. Even in digital advertising in 2020, it started to grow 12.2% year over year. And again, that is not slowing down. Second to that, because of the advertising costs growing, it only makes sense that there's increased online competition and it's starting to limit reach. I think many of us as consumers switched over to the digital landscape because of the pandemic. Um, Alternatively, a lot of the D2C merchants did the same thing. So because of this, the overall landscape has been super saturated and is starting to get more competitive, more expensive. Now, finally, probably the most difficult we've either experienced or are starting to action against is Google and Apple's recent updates. They're posing a lot of challenges for marketers, everything from impacting tracking to personalization to targeting. Now, fortunately for Quickly, these first two were really our focus points when we started to create this platform. We knew that advertising costs would continue to rise. We knew that there would be a need for other channels outside of what I'll call the quote unquote big guys, Google, Facebook, etc. What we didn't necessarily plan for, but fortunately are very well suited and positioned for, is the privacy updates coming down the line. We have very strong first party data, and it's allowed us to continually be successful for all of our brands. So, for those of you that don't know who Quickly is, who we are, what we do, meet Quickly. We are an invite only commerce engine that powers acquisition paid on performance. Commerce engine, what's that mean? Kind of a coined term that we've come up with, but essentially, Quickly only works with direct consumer businesses selling physical products, and we very heavily focus in the digital space. Now, the engine aspect comes from the fact that Quickly works with a data-driven machine learning algorithm that's making real-time decisions on an individual basis to identify best product for the right consumer at the right channel and the right time. Now, of course, we power acquisition paid on performance, which is why brands love us. Paid on performance means just that. No upfront spend, no monthly retainers. You are only paying out when Quickly drives and contributes to a sale. Now, how do we do that? Quickly uses our proprietary ecosystem to really focus in on driving brand awareness, product discovery, and then, of course, most important for our brands, sales. We do this across three areas, really honing in on the premiumness of each. Again, no upfront spend, no monthly retainers. We really need to make sure everything that we do is premium. That first area of focus is premium channels. Currently, Quickly has about 25 million plus digital destinations that we can leverage. Second to that, reaching premium consumers. Quickly on our side, we have about 110 million active consumer profiles. And then finally, enabling premium purchases. We have really, really killer proprietary tech and IP that allows for quick consumer checkouts, but in turn, it also establishes a longer lifetime value due to the experience that consumer has been through. Now, a lot of the times with any new tech, brands are often worried about what does that mean? How do I get it set up? Do I need my dev team? Is it a long, cumbersome integration? Will it slow down my site? The beauty of Quickly is that brands can launch commerce-enabled marketing in 4 simple steps and less than 30 minutes. So to break those down quick, first step, we connect. We directly integrate with your e-commerce backend. The second step, brands are fully in control. You select the products that you'd like to promote. That third step is prioritizing those products by selecting the commission you'd like to pay out. And that fourth is launching. Pretty straightforward. We've set everything up. We want to launch into our ecosystem and drive the best suited sales for your brand. That first step is very simple. You can seamlessly integrate into a Quickly account in less than 5 minutes. Once you have access to Quickly, you'll then select the products that you'd like to promote. Everything that we do, brands are fully in control. And going back to the challenges that often brands are facing, saturation, expenses, you can really leverage this in understanding where your other channels are really strong, where your other channels are really weak. Maybe some keywords or products are expensive. So again, you have complete freedom here in choosing your products. A little bonus, because we have such seamless tech, 1, we actually don't need creatives from you. 2, no data feed API management needed. We'll have a real-time updated inventory, so time and resources elsewhere for that. Finally, prioritizing. As mentioned previously, the brand is going to select the commission they would like to pay out for the sale. Now, this is going to be specific to the brand's marketing goals. We've essentially created advanced custom commission settings so that the brands can really hone in on which aspect of the funnel they'd like to focus in on. Do they really need help with retention? Do they need help with new customer acquisition? Do they need help with pure top of the funnel brand awareness? You can focus in quickly by setting each of these commissions. And in turn, our algorithm will start to hone in on best suited customer as it relates to what that brand needs. Now, finally, after we've set everything up, the brand has come in, we've integrated less than 5 minutes, we've selected those products, we've set our commissions, we then launch. To touch a little bit more in detail on our ecosystem, first and foremost, which I think is probably the most important aspect, is our premium channels. As a side note, we do not mess around with bots. They don't have credit cards. We also do not do the low quality remnant traffic to what I'll call fluff up impressions and clicks. It does nothing for us. We actually are paying for the impressions and clicks, so it doesn't make sense. Again, there's some assurance that everything that we do in terms of channels is premium. Now, some of those channels include the open web. So think large publications, think Vogue, Cosmo, ESPN, Men's Health, etc. Along with this, it could be anything from popular video games and apps. We have a private browser extension. We touch on social channels. We do email marketing to our own audience. We have a private owned and operated marketplace, amongst many others. So it's really important that we are leveraging our tech and our data-driven machine learning algorithms to really identify the right time and the right channel for the right consumer. Now, how we identify the right consumer is our second focus point, really making sure that we're reaching premium consumers. First and foremost, when we integrate with the brand, we start to analyze their audience. We then tap in with our own. As mentioned, we have about 110 million active consumer profiles. The goal here is simple. We want to make sure that we are identifying real suitable consumer targets. That's very important in this day and age. Of course, fraud will always be around. We really want to make sure that first and foremost, we're not inflating numbers. Second to that, we're driving real human beings that will turn into a further lifetime value for our brands. Now, how we focus in on that LTV is through premium purchases. We have really killer proprietary tech and IP that essentially is serving checkout ready channels and being able to enable sales across the board. It's basically a 2-click process. The consumer has a really great experience. It hones in on impulse purchases, but it also allows for very seamless checkout, regardless if it's impulse or not. So from that, right, at this point, we're running. We're off and running. We have our tech running. We've now created a system that allows us to be competitive in a really saturated landscape with differentiation. We've allowed for us to save on some cost aspect, given that we are performance-based, no upfront spend. And in terms of all the privacy issues coming down the pipeline, we've really honed in our owned and operated audience. Now, of course, from a reporting perspective, we always need the reporting. The brands are interested in that. The beauty of it, day-to-day management not needed. That's what our algorithm is taking care of. So we're optimizing real-time, best path to conversion towards sales. And when a brand is interested, of course, we have reporting details. Furthermore, we are integrated with Google Analytics. So you're going to get exactly what you need. Everything from geos to demos to top sites to device splits, all of the audience insight that you need to not only know what Clickly's doing, but more importantly, be able to possibly blend that into your other channels or create a new grapevine in which you can test on Google or Facebook. A lot of different ways to use us. Now, I wanted to give you some insight on different case studies that we have, just to give you insight on what clients come to us for. A lot of the times there's similarities. First and foremost, this client, direct-to-consumer health and wellness brand. They came to us Q4. They really wanted to grow their revenue, but they couldn't afford to dip into their margins. So the spend to revenue ratio, they just couldn't play around with. The solution here was they integrated Clickly and they locked in their settings, meaning they set their commissions, which in turn locked in their return on ad spend. Now the outcome, just to give you some numbers, month 1, 54 orders, 35 new customers. Let's flash forward to month 6, 870 orders, 492 new customers. So we were able to increase this like crazy. More importantly, the consistency. They were able to maintain a 3.1x return on ad spend across the board across 6 months. It never fluctuated based on competitive landscape or competition or saturation or expenses or anything. It's the consistency that was very key for them. The spend to revenue ratio was able to maintain. Now, outside of the health and wellness, jumping over to home decor, we actually have one of our clients, Redline Steel, come to Clickly with a very similar situation, but their focus points was more at that mid to top funnel. Of course, just like every other brand, they wanted to grow revenue without increasing spend. Luckily with Clickly, low barrier to entry, quick integration, no upfront spend. So we were able to add an additional channel while still maintaining that return on ad spend, which in turn allowed us to mitigate the risk for Redline and grow their revenue. Couple numbers for you. Course of 6 months that we've been with Redline Steel, 4.4x return on ad spend for acquisition, not blended, not retention, not any of that. Acquisition. That's a huge number, something I was actually really, really impressed with. Retention side, on the opposite, we're able to push in about an 11x return on ad spend. Now, overall, course of 6 months, we have a blended return of ad spend of 10x. Reason being, Redline Steel has a large product catalog, and some of those products are fairly cheap, 20, 30 bucks. Some of those are very expensive. So we're really able to hone in on what type of customer is for what product, what timeline channel is what followed. But it was important to Redline Steel to really focus in that mid to top funnel. Finally, to give you guys a little bit more insight, another one of our clients, they are a D2C aptogenic health brand. They came to us more in Q1. Q1, new year, new me. So it was very important for them to grow. They actually had a very specific request. While, of course, very similar to others, they wanted to acquire new customers. They were really looking to also increase their average order value, increase their cart value in general. So we leveraged Clickly's machine learning to really hone in on the type of audience that was needed in order to increase their cart value. And we were able to understand within our own audience set first-party data, purchase history, and buying behaviors. Now, the outcome of this, again, over the course of 6 months, we were able to do a lot for them. Sales went up 7%. Orders went up 6%. Their average order value, which is something specific they came to us for, went up 12%. Their new customer rate actually went up 50% as well. Now, what I mean by new customer rate is over the course of 6 months, we were able to increase a ton of orders for them. But 50% of those orders were coming from new customers, which was super important because of the repetitive nature of what they sell. Finally, to give you some idea on numbers, AOV, we were at 93 over the course of 6 months. Incrementally, we were able to push that up to about $112, which is a huge increase in revenue for them. So in short, our technology really helps in this post-cookie world by leveraging a full funnel, real-time consumer data software platform to distribute commerce by leveraging our first-party data, giving the brands full control of their spend and what they'd like to advertise, and then, of course, reaching very niche audiences through data-driven channels where there's less competition. So I appreciate you all tuning in. Hopefully there's a little bit to take from this. We actually are opening our access at the invite only for any of you viewers and listeners that are interested. So if you are, feel free to ping. It's Darren with one R. I'm a little different. At Clickly. Darren at Clickly. Thanks, everyone.
I get confused for a Darren all the time. So I know the problem. But Darren, I'm honestly blown away by this. This is, it's a plug and play advertising channel that you only pay for based on results. So many merchants can benefit from this. So I can't wait for it to open up into it for the whole world. And I think this is something that a lot of merchants will really benefit from. Those results speak for themselves. Just really an amazing platform. And kudos to you and the team that have built something like this. It's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, I appreciate you having us. It's been fun.
Yeah. So if you're looking to get more customers, more revenue, and maintain a healthy return on ad spend, you can check out Clickly. You can use the link ecomtech.link/Clickly, or you can email darren@clickly.com, or you could even message me and I could intro you. However, we're going to make sure that people find you, and we're going to make sure and spread the word about this tool and platform, because there's a lot of value here for merchants, which is
I
awesome.
love it. I love it.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Darren. We're going to say goodbye to you now, and we're going to move into the next session.
Bye, everyone.